I wish I had Dallas's story and his humor. I hate to follow Dallas. So to all the, and Frank, you and I must have been, we grown up beside each other because my story and your story are almost identical for sure. And so to all the award winners tonight, congratulations. It does make me and I think this whole room feel so wonderful about all the things that Georgia State has done and is doing. So congratulations. And all the students that are here tonight, I hope you take pride in those of us that have gone ahead of you and the work that has been done and show you the art of the possible, because I think this is a great school and it's doing great things. I'm humbled and honored by this award. Dean Phillips, thank you very much for this. You know, I got my MBA 30 years ago. And it seems like only yesterday, and time really flies by really quickly. And this year, I announced that at the end of this year, in about 5 weeks, not keeping count or anything, I'll be retiring from Cox after 40 years. You know, and as a consequence of being a senior citizen, I guess that goes with Hall of Fame award, right? I get asked a lot. So what are the lessons of leadership that you have learned, if any? The ones that know me best do the if any part of that. You know, and if I were to teach a class, I think I would say 3 things. Number 1 is don't sit behind a desk. Number 2 is you have to be a really great communicator to be a good leader. And number 3, you've got to continue to evolve and change with the times, or else risk being irrelevant. So I want to tell you a story. My family and I were living in New England, and there was a union campaign. And one of the things you get to do at a union campaign is you get to go talk to the people that are trying to elect a union. And so I went there, and I said, I really want to understand why you guys went to the union and didn't come talk to me. Enid, your F word was feminist, I believe, right? I got an F word that wasn't feminist. And it was the woman tell me that I didn't know who you were. That F word was in there. And if that's not a cold bucket of water for you, there's nothing. And so it taught me a really valuable lesson about the importance of being out with your employees, to be out where they're the ones that are talking to customers every day. They're the ones that have concerns and questions. And if you're out there, then you can answer those questions, and you can talk to them directly, and you can solve their issues, and you can grow the business. Brings me to the part about being an effective communicator. Obviously, that day I wasn't an effective communicator. But, you know, with being an effective communicator, that second thing, I think you have to have done your homework. And I hearken back in my days when I was the MBA school. Harvey Brightman was our statistics professor. And Dr. Brightman had us take a composition notebook and draw a line right down the middle of it. And on the left side, we were in class, and we would take the notes of all the things that were going on that statisticians use in their work and in their discipline. But what Dr. Brightman said was, take this home, and here's your homework. Your homework is write it in English so to demonstrate that you truly understand it. And so I think effective communication is really mastery of subject, and mastery of subject is all about understanding it so you can explain it in common English. The third thing is if you don't adapt and adopt with the way the world, and the world's moving very fast these days, and if you don't change with it, you run the risk of being irrelevant. I have had the beauty of a 40-year case study of Cox and a company that when I joined, we were $186 million in revenue, and this year we will finish, you got your facts right, Walter, thank you very much. We will finish a little bit north of $20 billion in revenue. That's a change that really, it's been a great time for me. I have learned so much, but among the things that you learn, you have to adopt and you have to adapt. One of the great things I've learned about Cox is that we are flexible. I heard somebody say there's not a definitive no. There's not a definitive no at Cox. But one of the things that hasn't changed about Cox, and we're 120 years old, is that we had a set of values the day we were formed by Governor Cox when he bought a newspaper in 1898. And that set of values has guided us from that day to today and will guide us into the future. That's been remarkable for me to have an opportunity to get to be a small part of that and to watch what our marvelous company has been able to do. And I hope for all of you students out there tonight, and frankly everybody in the room, I hope your profession and your job provides you the same value-based that I know our company. I've seen a lot of companies. I've never seen one that is as committed to the values as Cox has. So one closing thought. There's a table of folks here with me, both from the community and from Cox, and I want to thank you so much for coming. In pursuit of my career, I can't look at them because I'll start, excuse me, I'll start crying. I have asked my family to sacrifice a lot. My daughter and son-in-law are with me here tonight, and so is my wife. And so thank you. And thank you.